Absolutely. We see the future of healthcare in Maine as really being reliant on this sort of connectivity. And thankfully, our partnership with Highway Safety enabled us to access these funds for post-crash safety in a way that the secondary benefits that we've seen through connectivity have been immense.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you mentioned post-crash safety. So with that, I want to turn to you, Lauren. Across the agencies that you support, why is this connectivity continue to be such a top priority for you and the safety of the first responders?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I think it's really important for folks to understand what a highway safety office does. And our core mission is to save lives, right? So that's what we're trying to do. And when we can embrace technology to help us make some of these successful challenges better, such as first responder safety, right? So these people are out on the side of the highway, their lives are at risk, they're tending to a post-crash victim, and they're trying to look out for themselves and they're trying to help the patient simultaneously. Technology allows them to use these transponders to alert the motorists driving around them that they're there, they're roadside, they're doing something. And so I think it's really important that we use that technology and that we use it to help save lives of our first responders and the general public who are sharing the road with the first responders.
So as a follow-up to that, that safety for the first responders, that's really enabled by having the connected vehicles basically alerting drivers when there's someone on the side of the road, correct? And that's in the being able to alert them ahead of time. So not just visually, but getting an electronic alert. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. And that's the important piece right there, is because not only are those alerts helping the first responders, the general public gets the alert. And what we found is that within 30 seconds of receiving the alert on any of your navigation apps, Waze, Google Maps, or if you have a vehicle that already has the vehicle-to-vehicle technology, you're going to get that alert. Within 30 seconds, we found that people slow down by more than 5 miles per hour after receiving that alert, and that's really what we want to happen.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great. So a lot of good things going on with public safety. Jim, I want to turn to you. Is that something that you're starting to see? I know you work with a lot of the agencies in Maine. Are you seeing other agencies adopting this technology to implement the same type of connectivity and safety?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we live in a world where everything's connected. We rely on data and information, and having that connectivity to power systems, like Director Stewart's referring to, is just tremendous, and it's creating an advantage for our first responders to enhance the safety of, like she said, not only them but the general public around them.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. I mean, I love the 5 miles an hour slower. Just people seeing that and starting to slow down. That's a great news to hear, and hopefully gets replicated across a lot of other states and so forth as well. Will, I wanted to go back to you. I know you had started this program a couple of years ago, putting technology into the ambulances and so forth. I wanted to find out what kind of tools and data, communication systems you're relying on in your vehicles today, how that's evolved since you first started the program.
Yeah, tremendously. In terms of scale, I would say are the evolution from the days of picking up a radio or using a phone mounted in the vehicle to connect with a hospital. We're seeing now we have high-speed connectivity. We've got modems and routers, and we're able to pre-alert drivers to accidents on the roadway with the hope of preventing a secondary incident. That's a hard thing for us to measure, how many of those incidents we've prevented, but we know that we have provided a level of safety that didn't exist before. And additionally, on the clinical side, that connectivity to our hospital partners and to our dispatch centers really makes a difference in terms of the time to the patient and their time to clinical care.
Yeah, I could see where that would really come in handy. I'm wondering if you're seeing, the vehicles as you've evolved this, are they becoming easier to support now that they've got more technology in them, or a little bit harder?
I think as we move into the modern era, there are limitations to every new technology that comes into place. And I think some of that is the legacy of vehicles that we're installing new technology into. But I think what we're really seeing, especially the last few years, is a wave of installations, vehicle-to-vehicle technology, HOS alerting signs, and next generation technology that allows us to connect and communicate. And so it's becoming even more important that our vehicles are connected as we move forward.
Excellent. That's great. Jim, I wanted to turn back to you to get your perspective on this. You know, it's great that these devices are becoming more connected, but what makes maintaining a stable connection inside a moving emergency vehicle uniquely difficult, especially when you're a state like Maine, where so much of it is rural?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it starts with best in breed technology. Not every piece of tech is built for a public safety environment. And so understanding the outcome that the customer is trying to accomplish and pairing the right piece of equipment, whether that's a router, antenna, the right carrier, creating redundancy, it's paramount to have the right type of technology to accomplish the mission.
Got it. And I know I've been in communication with some of your tech partners, like Ericsson, for example, and they've highlighted their new wireless technology and their cradle point routers, et cetera. How important is it to have technology that can expand, to have multiple carrier support in a state like Maine and things like that, maybe even potentially connect to other sources of connectivity and also act as Wi-Fi?
That's the key, and I believe that's why Maine selected with Newcom the Ericsson routers because of the extensibility. We're able to power the safety cloud through Ericsson's Net Cloud. We're able to power a GPS technology that has the ability to integrate with dispatch. So we're able to do all of that from that one piece of equipment. Again, best in breed technology helps us accomplish the mission.
Absolutely.